Obviously, it's a heartbreaking announcement, David, and certainly I'm so proud of everybody over the last year that have worked so tirelessly. I think we started with about a dozen scenarios. One of those was moving things to May, which is where we landed, and so we had different task forces to help us, for a health and well-being task force, a stakeholder input group. These decisions certainly aren't made in a vacuum, and our goal was to get as much information as we could to make the best decision possible for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We've been working tirelessly on trying to make a plan really since the shutdown last March. And so, as you know, we did postpone, or did, I should say, move some things to May, particularly the public events, in hopes that we would see things getting better. And we just decided, as we kind of walk through all the different scenarios, and knowing that social distancing is going to be still a big piece, and we want to make sure we're doing our part from a health and safety point of view. We just thought the best decision for us is to move forward with a private show for our junior exhibitors. We wanted to stay committed to that, following all the social distancing guidelines, working with the city and county there. But the public piece, it just wasn't going to be possible for us to do in the way that we would want it, and frankly, the way our fans would want it in our current times.
So I guess what changed from pushing it back to May to making the decision now? Were you hoping that maybe vaccines were going to be distributed at a faster rate? Were you considering that kind of thing? Like, what changed that made you move from pushing it back to canceling it?
Sure, I think a little bit of all the above. We knew when we got to December, the projections for Houston as we turn the calendar were not going to be good, which would put us January, February, and into March. For a lot of our vendors and partners, we wanted to give them as much time as they could to be prepared regarding the situation. And so as we rolled into January, and we continue to see the cases, we can, yes, we see the vaccine news, we see the variant news. There's all of that was a part of it. Obviously, there's a financial piece to this that goes into these decisions, and just the health and well-being of everybody involved. I mean, this isn't one of the biggest events in North America, and we have to put safety first during these times.
And I think I just saw on Twitter not too long ago that the mayor released a statement supporting your decision. Just how important was that to collaborate with city leaders and county leaders on making this decision? Because obviously it's a moneymaker, it supports the local economy, but obviously it's also, right now we're in a public health crisis.
Yeah, I think that you said it very well there, David. We have talked to our friends, our partners in the city and the county, as well as the state of Texas and the governor's office. We've had conversations as well. And so, yeah, along the way, and that's what I mean by, I believe the best decisions are made in groups, not by one individual. So getting their input, all those experts on their health and medical teams, the elected officials as well, helping provide us guidance as we look towards the future. But absolutely, I talked to the mayor yesterday, and so he too, I can't speak for him, but I can say he too was hopeful that we could do something in a safe way, because it does have a huge impact on the community. But we believe it's just not right to do it right now.
And then just a couple more questions. One being the vendors, obviously they're a big part of it. Did you have a lot of vendors still signed up for the May event? Or like, how many do you usually normally have on a regular rodeo, and how many were signed up for May, and just what's their reaction to this?
Yeah, sure, it's tough. And that's what makes it so heartbreaking, is our vendors, our sponsors, our partners, just so many people. This is truly, David, a community event. There's so many different people that are part of it. I don't have the numbers, but most of them were able to, their goal was to make May work. And that's the other reason we wanted to make announcements, so they can begin to make other plans. But most people were very hopeful that we could try to do it for sure. And so we're talking with them and working with them. Obviously, those are the conversations that are going on right now.
And then how important is it to continue supporting the students in that scholarship program? Because that is going to continue as a private event.
Sure, David. And so I think the two things that we want to highlight moving ahead is because of the foresight of the folks that came well before us, we're still going to be able to give our $21.7 million in scholarships and grants, and to our junior exhibitors. We're still able to meet the mission of our show, to have our junior show for the exhibitors. And then the second point to that is buckle up for May 2022, for March 2022. I mean, we feel very strongly in working again with some of those same folks we mentioned earlier that there is an end in sight to this. And we know that, and we want people to stay optimistic and stay safe. But also we want to be hopeful that we think 2022 is going to be a grand show. And so being able to stick to our mission of giving, being able to look forward to 2022, that's where we're focused right now.
And then 2022 is extra special because I think in the video that I saw that you posted, it's 90th anniversary of the rodeo, right?
Correct. 90 since our first show. It'll be 90 years. We look forward to celebrating that with everybody. So be ready.
Awesome. And I think just the only other question, I think when it comes to you, you just took over the rodeo. And so was this a decision you made lightly coming up with this? Because obviously you're trying to make a name for yourself and as a new leader, and unfortunately you had to make this decision obviously to protect the public, but also it affects so many people.
Yeah, I think the best part about working at the rodeo, David, is it's a group effort. This is a collaborative leadership model with a great executive committee, great officers, great chairman, great staff. And so clearly this is not, it's heartbreaking. This is not the decision we wanted to make. But tough times call for tough people, and we got to do what's best. And as heartbroken as I am, I will continue to focus on the light and know that we'll be back. And that's where I will focus.
And then last thing I can think of, you already talked about it a little bit. You have been pushed to May, but the goal is to be back in March as it's always been.
Yeah, we'll go back to our original March dates. That's our window for sure. That was certainly one of those scenarios, but no, we look forward to seeing everybody in March.